Your muscles aren't failing you. Your habits are. The hard truth is simple and uncomfortable. You say you want strength, but your nightly routine is quietly destroying your recovery before you even close your eyes. Muscle isn't built by wanting it, posting about it, or talking about discipline. Muscle is rebuilt when the world goes quiet, when you stop moving, when your body is finally allowed to repair the damage you created during the day. And right now, that window of growth is being wasted. You could be lifting more, eating more, working harder than ever, and still waking up weaker than yesterday because what you do at night contradicts everything you claim to want. You underestimate how much night matters. You treat it like leftovers. You scroll until exhaustion, snack without thinking, skip recovery, and then act surprised when progress stalls. Tonight decides the direction of your life more than your most intense workout. That isn't motivational fluff. That is biology, and biology doesn't care about your excuses. Think about it honestly for a moment. Every day you break down muscle tissue. Micro tears, fatigue, stress, it all adds up. Night is when the repair team shows up, when the rebuilding process finally turns damage into growth. But instead of supporting that process, you sabotage it. You run on stress, you run on caffeine, you run on distraction, and then you wonder why results move like cement. You blame genetics, age, metabolism, anything except the obvious truth staring back at you. The problem is not your potential. The problem is your consistency. The problem is the gap between what you say you want and what you actually do when no one is watching. You talk about discipline in the daytime, but abandon it the moment the sun goes down. Here is a harsh realization most people never face. Progress is often lost at night, not in the gym. It's lost when you neglect sleep quality. It's lost when your body is deficient in what it needs to rebuild. It's lost when your habits contradict your goals. You can't expect elite results with sloppy routines. You can't demand growth while fueling yourself like an afterthought. You don't need more motivation. You need honesty about how you treat your body during the hours that truly matter. If mornings feel heavy, if recovery feels slow, if muscles refuse to respond, it isn't bad luck. It is the consequence of nightly neglect repeated over weeks, months, and years. Another uncomfortable truth, your body is always keeping score. Every skipped recovery step counts. Every late night decision counts. You don't get away with anything. You either support your system or you drain it. And your energy, strength, mood, and appearance are simply the receipts. You claim big goals, but goals mean nothing without supporting actions. Stronger muscles require stronger choices. Better recovery requires better discipline. This is the moment where excuses end and responsibility begins. No one is holding you back but you. No supplement alone fixes poor habits. No workout program saves you from inconsistency. Growth belongs to those who respect the quiet hours when repair actually happens. Night is not a pause in your progress, it is the engine of it. Treat it with intention and your body responds. Treat it carelessly and your body resists. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to stop pretending that your results are random. They're not. They are brutally fair. They reflect how you treat your body when discipline feels inconvenient. Tonight isn't just another night. It's a choice point. Keep repeating the same behaviors and you already know the outcome. Change how you approach recovery and your body will change with it. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is narrowed in those hours before sleep. In the habits you build when nobody sees. In the decisions that either rebuild you or quietly break you down. Your muscles aren't the problem. Your nightly choices are your. Muscles are not confused about what they need. Your body is constantly sending signals and you keep ignoring them. After every workout, every demanding day, every moment of physical stress, your muscles are calling for repair, nutrients, and rest, yet you continue to gamble with your recovery and then hide behind the lazy excuse of bad genetics. Stop fooling yourself. Genetics are not the reason you feel exhausted, stuck, or weaker than you should be. The reason is that your daily effort collapses the moment discipline becomes inconvenient. You want results, but you don't want responsibility. You want strength, but you don't respect the process that creates it. You keep acting surprised when progress stalls, but nothing about your habits supports growth. You rush through meals, skip nutrients, stay up late, overstimulate your mind, and expect your body to perform like a machine. That isn't ambition. That's self-sabotage. You don't get to ignore recovery and still demand peak performance. Your body isn't your enemy. It's simply responding to the garbage routine you keep repeating. You know exactly what you're doing that hurts your progress. You just don't like admitting it out loud because that would make the excuses feel embarrassing. Here's a harsh truth you need to face. Your lack of progress is not mysterious. It is predictable. When the basics are neglected, strength disappears. When sleep is poor, energy collapses. When nutrients are missing, recovery slows to a crawl. You look in the mirror searching for something to blame, but the reflection is brutally honest. The mirror doesn't hate you. It simply exposes your choices. Every time you skip what matters, every time you replace discipline with comfort, every time you delay action until tomorrow, you cast another vote for staying exactly where you are. You tell yourself stories to feel better. You say you're busy. You say you're trying. You say you'll fix it soon. Meanwhile, your body keeps paying the price. Muscles stay sore longer than they should. Fatigue hangs over your mornings. Workouts feel heavier than they used to. You don't lack potential, you lack follow-through. The difference between results and frustration is not some secret technique reserved for lucky people. It's the accumulation of small, unglamorous choices made consistently, especially when no one is watching and no one is applauding you for them. Another uncomfortable realization, effort in the gym is the easy part. Anyone can push hard for an hour. Real discipline shows up in the quiet hours nobody talks about. The recovery habits, the nighttime routine, the willingness to do what's necessary instead of what's comfortable. You keep chasing new workouts, new programs, new supplements, hoping something external will save you from internal inconsistency. It won't. Nothing replaces the fundamental truth that your body only grows when you support its ability to repair itself. You don't need more information. You already know enough. You know sleep matters. You know nutrition matters. You know recovery matters. But knowing means nothing without action. The gap in your life is not knowledge, it is execution. It is the difference between I should and I will. You've lived the consequences of hesitation long enough, slow progress, lack of energy, disappointment wrapped in excuses. Deep down, you're tired of your own patterns, tired of pretending that circumstances control you when it's really your decisions doing the damage. Your muscles are ready to rebuild. Your body is capable of far more than you're allowing it to show. But until your habits stop contradicting your goals, you will continue circling the same frustrations. This isn't about perfection, it's about honesty. Be honest about the way you treat your body. Be honest about the nights you waste. Be honest about the shortcuts you take while demanding long-term results. The moment you drop the excuses and face the truth, progress beckons. Simple. Not easy, but simple. Your recovery isn't failing. You are neglecting it. And until that changes, nothing else will. There are 4 vitamins that quietly do the heavy lifting while you sleep, rebuilding, restoring, repairing what you work so hard to break down during the day. They don't shout. They don't make dramatic promises. They don't need hype. They simply support the natural processes your body already wants to perform. And right now, you may be trying to build muscle while being deficient in the very basics required to recover. That's like demanding power from an engine while refusing to give it fuel. You want strength, but your body's trying to hold itself together with leftovers. Vitamin D is more than sunshine and slogans. It plays a central role in recovery, mood, immunity, and performance. Low levels don't just make you a little tired. They make progress feel heavy and stubborn. They make workouts feel like pushing through mud. They drain motivation before the day even starts. Many people train hard while running chronically low on this single vitamin, then wonder why fatigue follows them like a shadow. The truth is uncomfortable but simple. If vitamin D is low, strength, energy, and recovery all pay the price. Magnesium is another quiet giant. Muscles don't just need tension, they need release. They need relaxation to actually repair. Magnesium supports muscle function, stress response, and quality sleep, the foundation of nighttime recovery. Without enough of it, muscles stay tight, restless, constantly on edge, like a clenched fist that never fully opens. You can sleep 8 hours and still not feel restored if your body cannot truly relax. Recovery demands calm, not chaos. And magnesium helps shift your system into that state where repair finally becomes possible instead of theoretical. Then there's vitamin C, often dismissed as just something you take when you feel a cold coming on. That shallow view misses its deeper value. Vitamin C supports collagen production, tendon health, connective tissue integrity, the structural parts of your body that hold everything together while you push for more strength. Muscles don't operate in isolation. They are anchored to tendons and joints. When those structures are weak or undersupported, everything feels sore, worn, and older than it should. Supporting them is not optional if long-term progress matters to you. The B-complex vitamins form the energy engine. They help convert food into usable energy, support nerve function, and influence how alive or drained you feel upon waking. When they're lacking, mornings feel heavy, focus feels dull, and motivation feels distant. You can have all the desire in the world, but if your energy systems are under-fueled, execution collapses. These vitamins don't build muscle for you, but they help make the process possible by supporting the systems that power your training and recovery. Here's the harsh truth most people avoid. You might be stuck not because your training is wrong, but because your foundation is weak. You're chasing complex strategies while skipping simple deficiencies that drag everything down. You obsess over tiny workout details while ignoring whether your body has the raw materials to repair. That's not dedication, that's misplaced focus. The basics will never be flashy enough for short attention spans, but they are exactly what separates steady progress from constant frustration. Another realization we're facing is this. Your body isn't trying to work against you. It is constantly trying to repair, regenerate, rebuild. It wants to recover. It wants to grow stronger. But it can only work with what you give it. If critical nutrients are missing, it adapts by slowing down, cutting corners, prioritizing survival over progress. That is not failure. That is self-preservation. You do not randomly feel exhausted. You do not accidentally recover slowly. There are reasons, and they usually trace BA. CK, to habits repeated daily, especially at night. This is where mindset matters. Stop pretending that results are decided only in the gym. Results are decided in the unseen spaces, what you feed your body, how you sleep, how well you support repair. Nighttime isn't downtime from your goals. It is the most important work period for them. Those 4 vitamins don't promise miracles. They aren't shortcuts. They simply remove the unnecessary barriers you've been placing between your effort and your progress. The gap between struggling and progressing is often just the difference between neglecting recovery and finally respecting it. Your body is capable of more than you're currently allowing it to show. But capacity means nothing without support. Ignore the essentials and you keep repeating the same cycle of sore, tired, unmotivated mornings. Support them and recovery begins to match the effort you put in during the day. You don't need magic. You need consistency with what actually matters. Stronger results start with stronger foundations. And the foundation is built long before the next workout. It's built while you sleep. Face this truth without dodging it anymore. You can train hard and still shrink if your recovery is trash. You can sweat, push, grind, and convince yourself you're doing everything right, yet your body refuses to change because the most important part of growth is being neglected. You keep believing effort alone is enough. It isn't. Effort without recovery is just controlled self-destruction. You break down muscle all day and then fail to give your body what it needs to rebuild it at night. That isn't discipline. That's sabotage disguised as hustle. You love to brag about long workouts and intense routines, but the results don't match the noise. And deep down, you already know why. Sleep is inconsistent. Nutrition is sloppy. Nighttime habits are chaotic. You pretend your situation is complicated, but it's brutally simple. Your muscles cannot rebuild out of thin air. They need time, rest, and raw materials. Ignore any of those, and your progress slows to a crawl no matter how hard you push during the day. You don't get stronger by breaking yourself. You get stronger by rebuilding yourself. Break without rebuild is just damage. Here comes a harsh realization. Most people never want to admit you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up exhausted if your nutrients are missing and your recovery is shallow. Quantity of sleep means nothing without quality. Lying in bed for hours while your body fights stress, deficiency, and stimulation is not restoration. It is stagnation disguised as rest. You roll out of bed tired, irritated, unmotivated, then blame everything except the decisions that created that feeling. Timing matters. What you feed your body before sleep matters. The internal environment you create at night matters. Pretending it doesn't is convenient, but reality does not care about comfort. Another truth nobody likes to hear: you can eat enough and still stay stuck because quality matters more than quantity. Calories alone don't guarantee recovery. If what you eat is empty, unbalanced, or poorly timed, your body will still struggle to rebuild. Muscles are not rebuilt by junk disguised as fuel, and your energy systems are not optimized by shortcuts. You want results while clinging to habits that sabotage those same results. That contradiction is the real enemy, not genetics, age, or luck. Effort without strategy is ego exercise. It feels productive. It looks impressive. It leads nowhere. You chase exhaustion instead of progress. You confuse being tired with being effective. You grind for the sake of saying you grind, then wonder why your body refuses to respond. The truth is ugly and simple. Your body doesn't reward noise. It rewards precision. Progress isn't emotional, it's biological. If the inputs are wrong, the outputs will be disappointing, no matter how badly you want it. Your muscles don't care about your intentions. They respond only to what you consistently do. Support them and they grow. Neglect them and they resist. You don't deserve progress just because you're frustrated. You earn progress by aligning your habits with your goals, especially when it's inconvenient. Most people fail not because they lack effort, but because they lack follow-through where it matters most. At night, when repair actually takes place. So stop searching for mystical reasons why you're stuck. Stop pretending you're a special case. The truth is right in front of you. Recovery is the missing piece. Respect it and your results accelerate. Ignore it and your body keeps dragging like dead weight. You have a choice every single night to support growth or sabotage it. And every morning your body shows you exactly which choice you made. Your nightly discipline is the real test, not the workout you post about, not the weight you lift when adrenaline is high. The real test happens when the day is over and there is nothing to prove to anyone. That's where most people fail. They talk about goals but treat the hours that actually build those goals with zero respect. Night arrives and discipline disappears. Routine collapses into impulse. Progress collapses with it. You want stronger muscles, better recovery, more energy, yet your nightly habits say the opposite. Your actions are voting against your ambitions. This is where the truth gets uncomfortable. The body doesn't care about what you say you want tomorrow. It only responds to what you do tonight. Hormones reset, tissue repairs, systems recover, and you either support that process or you interrupt it because comfort wins again. You stay up late for no reason, you overeat or undereat, you scroll until your brain is overstimulated and then complain that sleep never feels deep. You know exactly which habits are holding you back, but you defend them as if they're harmless. They're not harmless. They are the quiet reason your progress is slow. Strength isn't built from bursts of motivation. It is built from boring, consistent choices repeated when no one is clapping for you. You don't need more hype, you need discipline when it's inconvenient. That's what separates growth from stagnation. Nighttime discipline is invisible work. No audience, no applause, just you versus your own excuses. And right now, your excuses are winning too often. If recovery matters, then your actions must show it. Supporting hormones that rebuild tissue matters. Giving your muscles the nutrients they need matters. Protecting sleep quality matters. And yet, people ignore all of it and pretend results should still arrive. That's not how bodies work. Biology responds to behavior, not wishes. You can claim big goals all day, but biology keeps the receipts at night. If you treat recovery as optional, don't be shocked when progress treats you the same way. Here's a harsh truth very few are willing to admit. Stagnation is usually a choice. Not a conscious choice, but a repeated one. 1,000 tiny decisions that say later, whatever, it doesn't matter tonight. And then suddenly months pass, soreness lingers, strength plateaus, energy drops, and frustration explodes. But frustration doesn't build anything. Discipline does. And discipline shows up most clearly in the hours no one talks about. The hours before sleep, the routine that either supports muscle repair or suffocates it. Your nightly habits are exposing your priorities. If distraction wins every night, then distraction is the priority. If discipline wins, then progress is the priority. It really is that simple. You can't serve two masters, comfort and growth. Comfort wants instant pleasure. Growth demands long-term consistency. Every night you choose which one wins. Not with dramatic gestures, but with simple, repeatable behaviors. The body adapts to whatever you repeatedly do. It rewards precision. It punishes neglect. There is no loophole. Stop pretending that nighttime doesn't matter. Stop acting like what happens before bed is separate from your goals. It isn't. It is the foundation. Muscles don't rebuild magically. Energy doesn't reset magically. Recovery doesn't improve magically. Progress is not waiting to surprise you someday out of pity. Progress is earned by aligning habits with goals even when you're tired, bored, or tempted to drift back into old routines. This is where accountability finally replaces excuses. If muscle repair matters to you, then treat your nights like they matter. Protect your sleep. Support your recovery. Respect the process instead of sabotaging it and then pretending to be confused. The difference between staying stuck and moving forward isn't luck or secret knowledge. It's what you repeatedly do when it's time to shut down the day. Your nightly discipline is either building you or quietly holding you back. Now it's time to face something most people never think about. Some of the things you take at night are actually holding you back. You assume every healthy vitamin automatically helps, and that mindset is exactly why progress feels slower than it should. Not everything belongs in your nighttime routine. Timing matters. Recovery depends on calm, deep rest, and certain supplements do the opposite. They keep your system wired when it should be repairing. You chase muscle while accidentally disrupting the very sleep that rebuilds it. Here's the harsh truth. 2 types of vitamins at night can sabotage your recovery. You hear their names and think energy, focus, rags you away from deep sleep, pushes you away from growth, no matter how impressive the label sounds or how confident the marketing feels. You've already experienced the effects. Nights where mind races. Sleep feels light. You wake up groggy, unrefreshed, annoyed with your own lack of energy. Then workouts feel heavier. Progress feels stuck. Motivation fades. You blame discipline, but it might just be exhaustion disguised as laziness. You aren't weak. You're under-recovered. And under-recovery is often caused by simple mistakes repeated without questioning them. The mindset shift is this. Stop chasing stimulation at the very time your body needs restoration. Respect recovery like you respect training. Protect your sleep like you protect your workouts. The vitamins you choose and when you take them aren't small details, they are signals. They tell your body either rest or stay alert. Start aligning those signals with your goals. Night is your rebuild phase. Treat it like one. Support what helps. Avoid what holds you back. Stop pretending exhaustion is normal. It isn't. It's feedback, and your body has been giving you that feedback for a long time.